no plans at all. Evil man's always transcending. Fighter like sheep, swallow everything. Always simpletons or pretending. We got no plans.
This is your moment of clarity and the final word on 2012. If it's important and it happened in 2012, then it's in this recap, or I forgot it. One of the two. The year 2012 saw the U.S. economy slogging along in its ridiculous, unsustainable pattern like a drunk hobo. But on the plus side, 7 living trees and a clean river were found in Pennsylvania. They've been bought by Monsanto. The U.S. presidential election finally concluded a mere 6 years after it began, or at least it felt that way. If we're so proud of our democratic process, why does it feel like a fucking bowel movement? Whether you were for Obama or Romney or the Pillsbury Doughboy, we all had the same response the morning after the election. Oh God, that was awful. Oh, Jesus, merciful Lord, can we never do that again? The true story of the presidential election is the aggressive suppression of any ideas outside the two-party system. Whether it was due to the vast amount of money needed to compete, or the Green Party candidate Jill Stein being arrested and chained to a chair during the second debate, not kidding, or Ron Paul being forced to wear the Silence of the Lambs mask during the GOP primary, the moral was the same. Play the two-party plutocracy game or shut the fuck up. Also in 2012, a bunch of nerds found the Higgs boson particle, which apparently is everywhere, as if we're all walking around in an invisible KY jelly or something, and this is the first most people have heard of it. Here's some advice, scientists. Stop telling us what you're finding. It's creepy, and we don't know how to incorporate your universal KY jelly shit into our daily routine of watching Honey Boo Boo and X Factor. Rather than telling us everything, just come out with a statement once a week that says X Factor and the Honey Boo Boo show will not be affected by the crazy, eye-bulging Doctor Who on a bad day stuff we found this week. It's crazy stuff. Also, Curiosity landed on Mars, which is another massive feat for mankind. And what have we learned from the rover? Well, we've learned that Earth is a pretty sweet deal, and we should probably stop shitting all over it. Just like 2011, 2012 was a huge year for the slow but evident global awakening, as alternative media is showing people just how our corrupt world works. Julian Assange and Bradley Manning continued to sit in jail cells or similar because of their efforts to reveal the truth. Pussy Riot joined them, and Pussy Riot didn't just show everyone how welcome free speech is in Russia, but they also succeeded in getting every major news outlet to say the phrase Pussy Riot. Some networks tried to use euphemisms, but calling the band Feminine Flower Ruckus just doesn't have the same ring. Speaking of Pussy Riot, Representative Todd Akin asked whether rape could be viewed as more of a family entertainment like tetherball or apples to apples rather than as a crime. And women nationwide finally woke the fuck up, turned off the Ellen DeGeneres show, and told rich white men making vagina decisions to go fuck themselves because they wouldn't be getting laid any other way. Workers stood up to Walmart's everyday low wages on a national level for the first time in Walmart's history, forcing the Walmart heirs to look up from the Fabergé egg omelet inseminated with narwhal sperm that their servant's chef's assistant was cooking for their dog's assistant dog. And that wasn't the only labor action that took place in 2012, thanks to workers standing up around the world. There were also protests against the austerity being forced down the throats of people worldwide. The Eurozone struggled, and Greece became a test run for whether the bankers and the wealthy can successfully crush democracy. Meanwhile, the LIBOR scandal broke open, which undermined the trust in the entire global market, and yet doesn't seem to be on any list of the biggest news stories of 2012, except this one. There were also countless protests against the destruction of the planet, everything from fracking to the tar sands pipeline to climate change actions to idle no more. You know, once your house is underwater and your tap water is flammable, it's tough to believe when Fox News tells you it's not. And Call Me Maybe was popular. Of course, 2012 will also be remembered for Hurricane Sandy and Occupy Sandy, helping the hurricane victims who lost their houses. Occupy foreclosures also tried to keep people in their houses around the country. The latter was fighting not against nature, but against the immense unyielding greed of the big banks. Another Occupy offshoot called Strike Debt or Rolling Jubilee has raised $500,000 to erase over $10 million of debt, effectively bailing out the people who truly need it. Plus, Rolling Jubilee, fucking cool name. I'm running out of time here, but there was also a bit of death and destruction in Syria, something in Libya, Lance Armstrong died, and Neil Armstrong used steroids. Wait, got that backwards. Facebook face-planted, butt-chugging beers was on the rise, and there was also a tinge of gun massacres here in the US. But none of that matters because Gangnam Style is on! Lastly, in 2012, the world came together for the London Olympics. But one of the most enduring moments seems to be when US gymnast Michaela Maroney was not impressed with her silver medal, spawning an entire not impressed trend. Perhaps this touched a nerve inside the global psyche. We're not impressed with the path humankind is on. We can clearly do better. Perhaps a 16-year-old gymnast with a name bestowed upon her from the trailer park gods has something to teach us all. That's been your Moment of Clarity year in review. And also in 2012, Moment of Clarity surpassed 12,000 subscribers on YouTube and is almost at 200 episodes. Thank you everyone for being a part of it. Keep fighting.
No plans at all. Evil man's always transcending. Fighter like sheep, swallow everything. Always simpletons or pretending.